What's up guys? Today I'm going to show you a very simple and easy strategy that you can use to save $5,000 or more on the electrical for your ADU. This is a 600 square feet ADU. It's under construction. The electrical is going up. The plumbing has been installed. All the framing has been installed as well. But the interesting thing about this project is that the homeowner spoke with an electrician. I would say, I'll take a step back. There was two estimates and they were both a little bit on the high side. The third estimate was a really good deal because the homeowner found either the laziest electrician or the smartest electrician. And in my opinion, I think it's the smartest electrician. But essentially what happens is when you are doing the electrical for your ADU, you need to connect the power line from your main panel to the ADU. And sometimes that could be a 50 feet run or a 100 feet run or longer because you have turns at every single stage. And when you have the electrical being installed, you need to install it underground. If you have concrete, the concrete needs to be broken up and then you have to throw away all that concrete. So there's a lot of labor involved. We're talking guys digging a trench, breaking up concrete, and all those things cost money. And we're not even talking about the materials. So if you add it up, by the time you connect your ADU line from the main panel to the south panel on the ADU, most of the time electricians are gonna charge somewhere between $3,000 to $5,000 to dig that trench, install all the wires, cover it up, and then you pass the inspections. That's the only way I knew how to do those things for an ADU. If you guys need somebody to help you draw the plans for your ADU, get in contact with Natalie. She can help you draw the plans, submit them to the city, and get them approved. The best way to get in contact with Natalie is by going over to the website, fill in the inquiry, and that's it. Natalie will take care of the rest. And by doing that, you will be executing step one towards building your ADU. But the homeowner found this electrician. He was getting his estimate and the electrician said something very interesting. When they were talking about the cost to dig the trench and install the copper line, the electrician said, "Why are you doing that? That doesn't make any sense. Instead of doing that, call the city or call DWP and ask them to install its own meter on the ADU." When you have its own meter, what's gonna happen is the electrical company is going to drop a line from the pole to the ADU, therefore eliminating the need to dig a trench and install a copper line from the main panel to the ADU. And that could save you somewhere between $3,000 to $5,000 in labor. So let's say you get an electrical estimate for your ADU. It's $15,000 with an electrician that doesn't know this system. It could be that they may want to make money on that transaction by doing the labor. It may be that honestly they just don't know that they can use this strategy. But if you get a $15,000 estimate, digging a trench, or if you talk to a different electrician, you tell him that you're gonna drop a line from the pole to the ADU, you erase $5,000. So the electrical for your ADU could be 10,000 bucks. That is a massive game changer. But that's not the only thing that this electrician brought to the table for this project. And every single little thing makes a difference. At the end of the day, it's time and money that you're spending on your project. The other item that he had a lot of experience with is the UFER grounding system. Most likely not a lot of people would know about the UFER system to ground a property because it's used a long time ago. It's still in action today and it does pass the inspection if it's done properly. But essentially what happens is to ground a property, you need a 5/8 thick copper line about 8 feet long, and it's inserted into the ground. That's the way that I knew how to ground anything. But this electrician had a different strategy. Since he knew that we're building an ADU, what he said is instead of grounding the ADU with a copper, why not use the UFER system and ground the ADU in the footing? The way that they ground the ADU is that a copper line is wrapped around the rebar with special clamps The technical stuff is up to the electrician, but the important thing is that they can ground the ADU by attaching the copper line into the rebar, and then they can pour the concrete on top. So that basically is grounding the ADU. I'm at a different project, but let me just add to this video and say that some cities do not allow drops to be made, and they want all the wires to be underground. But let's just say out of the entire state, 10% of cities do not allow drops to be made, and the other 90% do. That basically means that 90% of the homeowners will benefit from this strategy. Unfortunately, 10% will not. But overall, I think that's a massive win. If you're building your ADU as an owner builder, it's up to the homeowner to call the power company and find out if you can drop a line in your ADU. Do not even bother asking this from an electrician, because most likely he's just going to take the easy way out and say he's going to dig a trench and charge you the labor fee and the materials for that. And the same thing goes for a general contractor. If you have a general contractor building the entire ADU, call DWP, call your power company, find out if you can drop a line to your ADU, and then tell that information to the contractor. Hopefully, if you can drop a line, it'll eliminate a lot of labor and a lot of materials, and hopefully your contractor can give you a discount. This project behind me is my property, and by the time I'm done, I'm going to show everybody how to turn one single family home into 3 legal properties, generating income and being mortgage free. But this is a video for another time. Let's just focus on the electrical. The homeowner for that project didn't have to pay anything out of pocket. The meter was free, and the drop of the line was also free. Let's just say you happen to be in a city that does require you to pay, I don't know, the permit, the meter, or the drop. And let's just say that to do that service is $1,000. But on the other side, if a contractor is charging you $5,000 to perform all that labor, what do you choose to do? Do you pay $1,000 to the city or $5,000 to a contractor? On one side, you pay $1,000 and you get a meter. On the other side, you just get labor and a sub panel. It just doesn't make sense. Even if you have to pay a fee, there's more benefits to getting the actual meter installed than just having a sub panel. Let me show you guys the new panel, actually the new meter that's going to be installed by the city. It's going to go right here. The other way to do the electrical system for an ADU is to have, like I mentioned before, the line installed underground, coming over from that wall all the way out here. They would have to open all this up and then bring the line up to the new. But doing it this way, it eliminates all that work, and you just have all that work be done by the city. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna come in and drop a line from the pole over here all the way to the top. Let me move the camera to this setup right over there, and that is going to power the ADU, therefore saving the homeowner money. I was about to upload the video, but I didn't. And the reason is because I want to show you guys exactly how this setup works in a real life application. The homeowner is done with his project. The city dropped the line from the pole to the ADU, and therefore eliminating all that unnecessary labor. So check it out. Right over here is the new meter installed by the city for free. And then right on top, you have the line that was dropped from the energy company. That was also a free service. So if somebody is thinking about doing an ADU, it would not be the best move to dig up a trench, install the wire line, bring it all the way out to the ADU, and spend $5,000 to $10,000 in additional labor when you can just drop a line from the pole to the meter. So I just wanted to share that little tip with you guys. The homeowner was super nice to let me look at his ADU and share the strategy that he's using to save money on the electrical for this property. Hopefully you guys use this, save money, because at the end of the day, when you're building an ADU and you're able to save money on the shear walls by being installed in the inside, and now being able to save about $5,000 on the electrical by having a new meter installed instead of a trench line, that's 15,000 bucks. who's gonna give you $15,000? I'm pretty sure a contractor will be happy to take your money, but if you know how to work the system, you'll be able to save 15,000 bucks. Thank you, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe because honestly, why wouldn't you? Thank you guys.